I was working longer just to get the same things done. It's like the people that work the hardest and just always working. You see them on Instagram and they're just showing like how much they work, and they don't never sleep and they're here and you're there. And you're just like, oh, they're getting it done. And you're doing it. You know what? They're tired. I get so much more done. And without all the hustle or whatever, I make the same amount, if not more, than most people that I know that's living in the hustle. We're going to cancel hustle culture. If you're constantly finding yourself feeling behind, burned out, or just blah, I want you to stop blaming your planner and your to-do list and start looking at your health and sleep habits instead. In today's episode, we're talking about why your wellness and your sleep routines are not just self-care. They're actual productivity tools. Because the truth is, you cannot outplan and you cannot out-hustle poor health. Before we get into the video, I want you to drop a heart if you feel like your sleep routine could use a little extra love, or if you feel like you have a bomb-ass sleep routine, let us know what you're doing in the comments. So let's get into it. So productivity starts with energy, not a to-do list, all right? It isn't about doing more. It's about having the energy and the clarity to do the right things well. It starts with how you treat your body on a day-to-day basis, not just for the few seconds that you said you was gonna do it and then you stop. That was a sidebar. That wasn't even necessary. I'm sorry. I just be throwing shots. Y'all be catching strays. My bad. Little shady boots. Sorry. Fucking crazy. You can have the best planner, all the little color-coded time blocks, a 4:30 a.m. wake-up routine. But if you're not fueling yourself or getting real rest, you're still going to feel sluggish, scattered, and unmotivated. So let's talk a little about sleep for a second, right? It is a silent productivity killer. I used to think that sleeping less equals like, oh, I'm grinding, I'm going hard. Ew, first of all, that was ghetto times. Because but over time, like I literally realized that I was working longer just to get the same things done. It's so stupid. Because my brain was tired. Like I wasn't efficient. I was drained. So the work that my output was not great, right? And that's usually what happens when we don't have enough sleep and we're running on fumes. So sleeping, like it really impacts your mood. It impacts your memory. It impacts your decision making and creativity. Like all these things you need to be productive. One solid night of sleep can be more valuable than any productivity hack. Like I promise you, like get you some sleep, girl. So if you're like one of those girls that are trying to push through fatigue with caffeine and willpower, it's time to check your sleep routine. That's what we're going to do today. So start aiming at 7 to 8 hours every single day and watch how much sharper you feel on a day-to-day basis. So let's talk a little bit about nutrition and movement, like fuel that feeds focus. Nutrition and movement is fuel that feeds focus. Okay? I like to say things twice just in case you missed it. But let's not forget, like what you put in your body, your brain literally runs on it. Okay? So whatever you're feeding it, if it's processed sugar, or if you're skipping meals. I mean, I used to do all the things. Like I used to be a caffeine junkie. Well, a caffeine junkie. Like I feel like I needed a Celsius every single day just to get through my morning. Or I would skip meals. And I also thought that skipping meals or like fasting in the morning was like the way to go. But honestly, I've actually done a lot of research and I've been reading a lot of books on this. But as we get older, you should not be, for a woman, you should not be skipping meals. You shouldn't be skipping breakfast at all, because as soon as when you wake up in the morning, and I might screw this up, but basically when you wake up in the morning, cortisol spikes, and that is like a stressor or whatever. And what you need to kind of like start helping bring that down is food, is protein. And so if you don't do anything, then your body remains at that spiked level, which is why a lot of women, while we aren't losing like the weight around your stomach that you want to, is why our faces or whatever are puffy. I mean, I can go into a whole deep dive into that, but long story short is we shouldn't be skipping meals. Okay. When I focus on protein rich meals, lots of water, and a good balance of nutrients, my energy stays stable. And I don't mean like if you're having 3 cups of coffee or anything like that, that's ridiculous. You don't need that to power through your to-do list when you literally just fuel your body with food and water and nutrients, right? And then movement. It doesn't have to be extreme. You don't have to be up at 5 a.m. doing Orange Theory like me. I mean, because it's ghetto. It's ridiculously ghetto. We did Orange Theory today at 5 a.m. and we was just like, it's just too early for this. Like, it's too early to be burning 600 calories. Like, that's just wild. I am psycho. But anyway, don't be me. It doesn't have to be extreme. A quick little 30-minute workout, a walk, stretching, it all helps. It all helps circulate energy, and it helps improve your mood. It helps get your brain going. More movement equals momentum. It's real crazy, like where we are in these times, because we glamorize hustle culture. But I mean, it's like the people that work the hardest and just always working. You see them on Instagram and they're just showing like how much they work, and they don't never sleep, and they're here and you're there, and you're just like, oh, they're getting it done and they're doing it. You know what? They're tired. They're tired. Their body's tired. Their body wants some good sleep. Their body wants some nutrients. And honestly, they're pouring from an empty cup. I promise you. I know plenty of people living like that. So that's real. And you can't be the CEO, the mom, the wife, the friend, all the things, and you're literally running on fumes. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, your business is flourishing, but what about the other areas, right? I want to cancel hustle culture. I really do. I hate it with a passion. Really, because I've lived in all those worlds, and I like the state that I'm in right now, that I've built myself up to right now, is the best that I've ever had in my entire life. Like, literally, I feel good. I look good. No, just saying. My energy, my memory, my focus, my relationships, I am just in such a good, my bank account, like literally I feel so sharp. And I didn't feel like this. Like, even last September, I didn't feel like, I stopped. Yeah, last September, I didn't feel like this. Last September, before last September, I was drinking a Celsius every single morning. Like, I felt like I needed a Celsius to start my day. And then I found out all the bad things about Celsius, whatever, cut that out. And then I just really started focusing in, okay, like, how can I give my body natural energy? It's another reason why I have the Aura Ring. And this is not an ad, even though they need to pay me, because I be getting everybody on the damn Aura Ring. But the Aura Ring really allows me to track like my sleep habits, how I need to. Like, if I can always tell, so Aura Ring, if you don't know, it gives you a readiness score every single day. And that readiness score tells you how prepared you are for the day. If your readiness score is low, it'll probably say, well, you probably shouldn't do things like strategy, or you probably shouldn't do things that exert a lot of energy, or you probably shouldn't be making life-changing decisions today because your readiness is not there, right? And so I can always tell when my readiness isn't on point, and it's usually because I didn't get enough sleep. Because for me, even if I don't get in bed by a certain amount of time, I'm still gonna force myself up to get up at 4:30 in the morning, because I need to be at the gym, and I like to keep my routine. So sometimes games run late, and now I'm getting to bed at 10 o'clock, which is ghetto, and I'll still get up. So I can feel that my readiness score is going to be low. I also see that my readiness score is low when I eat late. So if I come in and I eat afterwards because I was rushing and didn't eat before a game, and I eat at 8 o'clock, my readiness score is going to be low. That's why I love my Aura Ring, because it makes me mentally pay attention to those things and think like, damn, I wake up, I'm like, like, if I went to sleep early and I wake up and my readiness score is low, it makes me rethink like, oh, what did I do? And I'm like, oh, I ate late. Or, oh, I had a glass of lemonade at like 7 o'clock, and I never do that. But that sugar elevated my heart rate, and my heart rate wasn't able to come back down, and my body wasn't able to recover. Therefore, my readiness score is low. Or Ring, pay me. Pay me. Pay me, pay me, pay me. Anyway, I said all that to say we're going to cancel hustle culture. Look, that was a long-winded way of saying cancel hustle culture, and let's start a different culture. I don't know what it should be, but it shouldn't be hustle culture. I get so much more done, and without all the hustle or whatever, I make the same amount, if not more, than most people that I know that's living in the hustle. And I work less. We're going to figure out a name together to call it. I don't know what this new culture should be, but we're canceling hustle culture. We're going to start a movement. Anyway, so productivity is not just about discipline, right? So it's about capacity. It's about capacity. How much can you take on? That's Remy. If you haven't met her yet, she likes to pop up in some of my videos. But your health determines how much mental and physical activity you show up for and how you're feeling when you're building. Here are a few things that have helped me, which I think we've kind of already spoke through, but I'm just going to name a list real quick. So setting a non-negotiable bedtime. I like to be in my bed by 8:30, and I like to be asleep by 9. I would love to get it was for a while I was in my bed by 8 and I would sleep by 8:30, and that was lit. But now that we're in the spring season is busier for the kids, and it's harder for me to get in bed that early. But a non-negotiable bedtime. And then eating within the first hour of waking up. I've said it. I try to at least eat an apple. It doesn't have to be like a full meal, but an apple, some yogurt, a protein yogurt with protein granola in it. Like all of those things, they help. Drinking water before anything else. I wake up in the morning and I drink 8 ounces of water immediately. Like I literally go brush my teeth, put my clothes on, go downstairs, get water before I do anything else. And then moving for at least 20 to 30 minutes a day. Y'all know I swear by a workout. But even on days when I don't work out, like on the weekends, I at least want to make sure like I'm walking and just trying to at least hit my 10K steps a day. But it doesn't have to be 10K steps for you. It could just be moving, like just start somewhere. Cutting the screen time before 30 minutes before bed. That is another game changer, because I notice I usually don't scroll through social media every single day. I mean, throughout the day, because again, busy. So I like to scroll at night, or whenever I have free time, like if I'm sitting at practice, if I've done everything. And so usually when I get in bed, I'll open my phone and I'll do a little scrolling, see what I missed all through the day. But it is important to me to stop that 30 minutes before I want to go to sleep, because what I notice when I don't stop that and I just try to fall asleep, it takes me longer to fall asleep. Shout out to the Aura Ring, because it will tell you exactly how long it takes you to fall asleep. And my mind is racing. My mind is usually thinking about things that I just saw on Instagram or the news, or just something real ghetto or whatever. And so my brain can't relax. And so it takes me longer to fall asleep. But then when I noticed that when I stopped doing that, and I went from either 30 minutes before, I would read a book. I read a book, or I listen to a podcast. And the way my mind and my ring will say it, it'll say, you are in a restored state. Try to stay here. Like our body has high stress levels throughout the whole day. And Aura say like, oh, you're stressed, but that's normal. You just have to make sure you restore your body, right? So you can't just be stressed all day and damn all night. And that's what Instagram and TikTok and everything else would do for you. The news is ghetto out here. So I try to work one of those in, and then I'm just in a restored state, and I usually drift off to sleep in like 7 minutes. Like I could fall asleep. Like that is crazy. And then lastly, tracking my sleep and my cycle. So I've already talked about tracking my sleep, so I won't get into that, but also like my cycle monthly. We have, I don't want to geek out over this, but I feel like it's its own episode. Briefly, there's 4 phases you go through in your cycle every single month, right? And so after your cycle, how do I want to explain this? In the first phase, which is like after your cycle, you usually have the most energy, right? So during this time, I'll look at the months and I'll usually plan like shoots and stuff during this time. Usually 2 weeks after that, so the third week is usually like your ovulation time, and that is when your energy will start to kind of like go down a little bit. It won't be all the way down, but it'll start to decrease. So I won't necessarily not plan anything crazy during that time, but I'm just kind of cognizant, like, okay, this is what's going on. I don't know, won't do nothing crazy. That fourth week, baby, you are tired. You have no energy. You are so tired. It is, and for me, I don't know about y'all, but it's ridiculous. Like sometimes I can't even stay up. I have to take a nap. Like I've never, and it's only for like 2 or 3 days, but it's wild how tired I am. And so during that time, I try not to do anything that's like super creative. I'm not recording. I'm not doing content shoots. I don't even want to go outside. Like I just really started paying attention to my cycle again, because I'm just on this whole wellness kick, and I just want to be my best self at all times. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to share that with you guys. But anyway, it's not about being perfect, right? So it's just about doing little things, creating little systems that support you and don't drain you, right? That's what we're doing. So in closing, if you're trying to be more productive and constantly feel overwhelmed or exhausted, I want you to start by checking your health and your sleep. I said that at the beginning, but I'm just going to say it again just in case you missed it, right? And if you want more like behind the scenes of like, I don't know, if you want more content like this, let me know. Put it in the comments. I can go on and on. I can create separate videos on different things. A lot of people don't really know about like the cycle tracking thing. I think we all just kind of grew up. We feel these things. We know that we feel tired, but we don't know like the real science behind it. And honestly, the science is what can really help you be your best self throughout the entire month. The science behind that will help you be more productive, because you'll know exactly what's going on with your body, and from that know when you need to plan stuff and do stuff. So like always, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, share it to somebody you know. And 1 second, y'all, I found this little number on the TikTok shop. They got me. They got me. And I just think it's so cute. I love loungewear. I love PJs. And okay, sidebar real quick. That will help you like feel good too. At the end of the day, if you you take a shower, you put on some pajamas, you put on a little lotion that smells good, a little nighttime scent, you will be knocked the fuck out. Okay? All right, bye.